Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Not So Serious Minecraft. I am your host, Renovate. Today, guys, is episode number 7. We're going to continue with the Applied Energistics ME system stuff. So hopefully you enjoyed the last episode, actually 2 episodes ago. Last episode we built some gifts for Link, and actually he is on right now. If he might even stop by, we'll see. But yeah, guys, if you're enjoying this series, make sure you click that like button. And if you're new to the channel, always hit that subscribe button. Let's grow the channel. You guys can be part of the family. I love communicating with you guys, so make sure you leave some comments or suggestions or anything else you would like to see us do. Also do the same on Link's channel, and make sure you check all of the links in the description below for the Voxel Squad. That's who's hosting this server, and we appreciate them for having us on. So let's get started, guys. Let's do some more Applied Energistics. Alright, guys. So, last episode we left off. We had our controller set up and we had our ME system, this just little thing right here. Since then, I've done a couple other things, but not that much stuff where you guys would be lost. Because we're gonna just continue with it. Last episode, we talked about hooking up the controller to this system. And now I'm going to go downstairs and show you what I've done. The controller also now has 2 other networks. I really don't need that cable cable anchor there. I went ahead and put one of these little carpenter doors so we can get inside. So this is where the green or the lime cable came out last episode, and we hooked all that stuff up. And this is where the orange one now comes out, and it goes over to that little new section that we have. And I made that section for our molecular assemblers, which we're going to make a couple more of those today so I can show you how those work. We also brought our inscribers downstairs so that we can have this all hooked up. I'm just going to do a real quick show you how this works. I don't know if I can get back there or not. Let's check. Yep, we can. Okay, cool. So these are our 4 main inscribers, just like we had set up before. We got the silicone here. This is the logic, which is the gold. This is the engineering, which is the diamond, and the top one is the calculation, which is the pure certus. What we need to happen is this one to always produce silicone presses, because when you make your final one, you always need to have a silicone press for every single time. So we always need to have that readily available. We also need to have this always putting in redstone, because you always need this. This is the one that is the input for whichever series of processors that you're making. So if we go back here and look, I have what you call an ME interface slapped on the top, and it's got the patterns for the circuits that we actually need. And these ME interfaces are pretty simple to make, and they come in 2 versions. That's the flat version. If you look back here, it's kind of flat, but if you look, it's got 9 slots here to put patterns in, and we have them also slapped on the sides of the inscriber, except for the bottom one. The bottom one, we always want it to tell to pull in silicone, and that's done using an export bus. Now, when you're working with the ME system, export means export it out of the system. Import means import it into the system. So it doesn't mean export it out of the machine. It's strictly referring to the ME system itself. The other interface is this square. So if I click on this, maybe. All right, we're back. I got kicked off the server. Don't know why. Happens all the time. So this is the ME interface. This is the square version. And if you can see, it also has the same interface as the flat ones. So there's really no difference. These can be used for different reasons than the other ones, but they function one and the same. And there's some lightning out there. That's awesome. So if we click on here, now you can see that we have all our stuff in our system, which is good. I'm actually going to go ahead and turn down the weather, which I thought was completely off, but it's not. I also made this. This is called your pattern terminal, and it's pretty simple to make. Let's just go into Applied Energistics. And let's go down here to the bottom, and it is right here. Nope, that's the inventory. There's your pattern terminal. Basically, it's an engineering press and a crafting terminal. And you saw how we made the crafting terminal. So you just add those two together, you get a pattern terminal. Why do we need that? Inside your interfaces, and these things over here, anytime you want a machine to do something, you have to have an interface on it if you're asking it to produce something. Now, if you just want it to pull stuff in and process it, you can use an export bus. Like if you wanted to just process all your ores and run it through a pulverizer, well, then you could just put all the ores in an export bus like this. Now, on the export buses, and if we go down here, actually, where are they at? I don't even see the export buses on here. Export bus. Did I spell it wrong? Let's type in export bus. I'll show you how you make that. The export bus is right here. 2 pieces of iron ingots, a formation core, and a piston. So that makes you an export bus. So the export buses, remember, export out of the system into the machine. It only allows you to do one by default. You can put capacity cards right here, which if you put the one capacity card, it'll open up these 4 around it. If you put the second one in, it opens up them all. So if you're wanting to process all your ores, you're going to want to put a bunch of capacity cards. But for this application, we don't. So yeah, this is the interfaces. And the interfaces, if we type in interface, I don't think there's too many interfaces in NEI. So if I click on this one, it's just going to default show the square one. So the square one is formation core and annihilation cores, some glass and some iron. So pretty easy to make. So these, you put patterns in, and you're basically telling the machine what you want to do. So I don't have anything that I need for this one over here, but we could make something to put into this one. So these molecular assemblers are like little crafting cubes. When I ask the ME system to craft things, like I've already put the patterns in for these things to craft, when you put it in there, it throws all the items in this little box, and they kind of spin around and actually create stuff. So the more of these you have, the quicker your stuff goes, the quicker the crafting goes. So what we want to happen is, let's say we want something that requires 5 pieces. Well, if those five pieces need to be built, you can't put them all in here at once. So it would be good to have some more molecular assemblers around the edge. So that's what we're going to do. So we're going to make one of those real quick. So let's go over here. Let's type in molecular assembler. Molecular. And there's that. And so here's what we're going to need. We're going to need formation cores, annihilation cores, quartz glass, a crafting table, and some iron ingots. Maybe we have all that. We do. Good. So now you can see that we don't have 2 of the items. So here's where we're going to have some fun. I want to actually ask the system to automatically create these. So what we're going to do is we're going to come over here in our crafting terminal. Now you need to make these blank patterns. And these blank patterns are pretty simple to make. Just type in blank, and they're right here. So it's just quartz glass, or a piece of Certus quartz, some quartz glass, redstone, iron. And so we're going to ask it to make annihilation cores. So let's go back to applied energistics. If I could spell. Man, I cannot spell today. There we go. Applied. There we go. So we need to make formation cores and the other one. So where are they at? So here is the annihilation core. We want to tell the system to make this. Now there's 2 ways you can do this. There's the crafting one, and then there's the processing one. Now processing pattern is anything that you can have a recipe where a machine processes and you get an outcome out of it. If you want a crafting pattern, this is basically anything that's in the NEI that it can put together and not have to make a certain thing. So let's say we wanted to make sticks. You just put two pieces of wood here. It automatically know that it makes a stick because that's a standard crafting pattern. It's not a process. A process would be like if I put Certus quartz in a pulverizer and I get Certus quartz dust out of it. That's if you just put Certus quartz in a crafting table, it's not going to give you dust. So that's the difference. So make sure you remember which one you click on. It automatically will not tell you. So like if I put this in here, see it doesn't show anything here because it's under the crafting pattern. So there's nothing you can make out of that. Now if I wanted to do 4 of these, it's going to know to make a block. See, but that's not what we're going to make. So let's go over here to the annihilate, or here's the formation core. So let's go ahead and do this one. And if we just shift click the triangle, make sure you change that one out for the regular quartz. You don't want to waste your charged or your pure, so we want to do that. It automatically knows anytime I have these items in my inventory, it can craft 2 of these. So we're going to push on that, and now it's going to show you that. Now, if I hold shift, it'll show you what the item is. Otherwise, it's just going to show this little pattern thing. So we got that one. So that's the that was the formation core, correct? Yep, that's the formation core. Now we need the annihilation core. So let's go grab this one, and we're going to do shift click again. So this one's a good one because you can use either the quartz or the nether quartz. Use nether quartz if you have a lot of it. So let's go ahead and do that. Now we have both of those. So now we can go and throw these into this system. And if we put one of these on there like that, now this enemy interface can actually tell, it can actually craft both of these at the same time, which is pretty cool. So now we need to come back over here and let's see. Oh, guess what? We're going to get kicked again. Okay, be right back. Alright, we're going to have to just deal with the kicking thing until they get the server figured out. I know they're doing some tweaks right now. They've removed the FTB utilities. So hopefully that all gets squared away here. So what I was saying is now that we got that, we need to make some more of these molecular assemblers. So let's go up here and try to find it. It's kind of hard to see because it's a little bit dark. But it's right there, molecular assembler. We don't have any of those pieces, right? So now if we go up here and we type in annihilation core, it's going to say craft, and that's what we want to do. Let's craft 2 of them. So now it's going to tell us that we have available all the pieces to make this, okay? And all you'd have to do is click start. Now here's something that you need to know about. You can't craft things unless you have a crafting CPU, and that's what these are. These are crafting CPUs. Now, what these allowed the system to do are craft things multiple times, or not multiple times, but do multiple crafting things. Now, if you just have one, and I went over here and I told it to craft an annihilation core and craft a molecular assembler after that, it wouldn't. It would only craft the one first, and then when it's done doing its thing, it would craft the second one. Having 2 of these allows us to have 2 things going on at the same time. Now these co-processing units allow the molecular assemblers and the system to craft multiple things as well. Alright, let's try this again. What I was saying is these processors allow the system to process crafting patterns a little bit faster. So this allows me to craft 2 things at the same time. And in order to make those, you got to make a couple things first. So let's go over here and look at what it takes. You have to have these storage drives, and certain recipes require a certain amount of storage or capacity in order to create them. Some larger items, let's say we're wanting to make like a really high tier solar panel or something, which requires multiple upon multiple builds prior to it, would have an extremely high crafting memory usage. So let's say like we were wanting to make our annihilation core. So let's go look at the annihilation core, and let's say I wanted to craft 10 of them, right? It's going to say it requires 110 bytes. That's minimal. But there are some things that we needed to craft that we'll need to craft in the far future, where it might be up to like, 50, 60,000, or even up in the hundreds of thousands. So that would require some pretty big CPU storage over there. So, but for beginners, you don't really need that big of a storage unit over there at all. So let's go ahead and create these things. So let's go ahead and create the annihilation cores because we need them. So let's do, how do you spell it? And there we go. Let's craft 2 of these, and then we say start, and then they're done. Boom, just like that. That's how quick it is. And let's do the what's the other one called? I always forget these things. Annihilation core and the formation core. That's the other one. So let's make some formation cores. Let's make 2 of those. Bam. And those might require So it's crafting one of these presses. So if we run over here real quick, we might be able to catch it, or it might have already done it. So that's when it's going to use 2 processes to make one thing. So we can click off of this and then click back on it, and now it should show that we have our items. It does. Cool. So we'll take that one and that one. So that will allow us now to craft 4 things when we have a recipe. Cool. So yeah, anytime we need to make something, it'll throw stuff in all of these, not just the one. So, and we can stack these up 8 high. Each one of these interfaces takes up 1 channel. So if we go underground real quick, let's go underground. And let's go over here and look at how I got this set up. I got the, that whole wing's going to be coming off of the orange. So the orange is coming off of here. It's going underneath. Now since there's only 1 interface, you can see on here it says 1 of 8 channels. So we can have 8 interfaces stacked on top of each other, and we'll be able to have 4 banks of those inside this pit to fill up that 32-bit channel, or that 32 channel interface, or 32 channel cable, sorry. So what do we want to do next? Well, the next thing I want to work on is processing of some silicone and some sand. We need to come up with a way to make continuous sand and turning that sand into silicone, because silicone is kind of rare. You got to either make it through clay or you got to make it through sand, and I think that's what I want to do. I just want to I also made this over here. Let's go look at this real quick. We made the QED. The QED allows you to make some pretty cool stuff. So if you click on this and click recipes, some transfer nodes, some hyper energy, some wireless energy transfers. It's going to allow us to make our ender markers and our ender quarry bases and upgrades, magnum torches. And if you need to, it's not the quickest way, but you can also do 3 times processing using some coal. So I think that's not what we want to do, because we'll be able to use mechanism. So let me get a couple more things, and we'll do maybe 1 more build in this episode, and then we will call this episode. All right, be right back. Okay, guys, so we're back, and I haven't been kicked for a while, so I think we're good now. So what we're going to want to do is we're going to set up a system where we can craft not only glass, but we can also craft silicone by using the same machine. So what I did is I came up with a pulverizer. So we're going to pulverize gravel, and it's going to turn into sand. Some of the sand's going to go to an alloy smelter, which is going to make us some glass. And the other sand's going to go to a sag mill, which turns it into silicone. Now this isn't the most efficient way of getting silicone. When we get a quarry set up and it's got silk touch on it, we'll be able to get silicone like crazy. But for right now, this is going to work. But what I want to do is I want to add some upgrades to the Ender IO stuff. So let's type in Ender IO, and I actually want to make some of these. So what I want to do is I want to actually automate that process. So let's go ahead. Actually, I can't right yet. I can automate the first one. So let's go ahead and do the first one. So if I click on this, that's a pretty easy recipe. So let's go ahead and do that. And can we do the second one? It requires energetic alloy. I don't know. We do have it in our system. We have a lot of energetic alloy, so we can autocraft that one. Oh, I need some blank patterns. So let's go over here. Let's kick in blank. And there's the blank patterns, and let's do this. Let's change that out. And actually, you know what? Check this out. Blank. I already have it set up, blank patterns. So let's make 10. Let's see if we got enough to make 10. Available 4. So we don't have very much glass. Let's do cancel. Let's just make 2. There we go. We got enough to make that. So there, it crafted it that quickly. So let's take these out. What I want to happen is I want to set up a pulverizer. And let's just say we set the pulverizer here for now. The pulverizer is going to pulverize the gravel. It's going to shoot it out the side. So let's just turn this all off. It's going to shoot it out the side. Now, it all sometimes has gravel that comes out. We don't want the gravel. So we're going to do this. Actually, we're going to do this. and do this. Okay, so the red's going to go this way, yellow's going to go out the bottom. Actually, it's got yellow coming out the back. Oh, that's how we want it. Okay, yellow coming out the back. Is that correct? Yeah, that's fine. And so that gravel is going to come, or that sand then is going to come into the alloy smelter or a sag mill. But we want it to come out of, we want it to do both. So let's change this. And let's get back up here. We might want to do this so it exports on both sides. I don't know if I can do that or not. So we want this. I'm not sure how I want to get this done. Out the bottom, maybe? Out the bottom. And then over. Yeah, that might work. So let's do this. Let's have, this is the bottom. So we're going to turn this one to red. And we're not going to do anything on that. So the bottom is going to be an output for all of the sand. So let's do sand out the bottom. And that's going to come over to both of these other machines. So I'm going to have to dig my way out of here again. So let's do this. And we are going to, I don't know if I can set this one. Yeah, we can extract always active, and we're going to do round robin. So that it goes, it sends equal amount to both. So get back out of here. And then we're going to set the alloy smelter here. Like this. Okay. And then we're going to put the sag mill right here. Like that. Now we need to tell these things that it is importing through the bottom. So this is a pull. So it's pulling it in. And then we are going to tell it to eject out the back. Good. So now we need to go, and we want to put our upgrades in here. So let's go and put our upgrade in that one. And the same thing with this one. We want to tell it to pull in the bottom. So let's pull. And then from the back side, we want it to tell it to eject. Good. And then we need to put our upgrade in that one. Good. All right, so it's going to pull sand in. And this needs to be set to, let's just go ahead and break these floor joists, or these floors out. These need to be set to input. Insert, insert, and that's an output. And then these are going to get, if I can jump back up there, these are going to get some more item conduits here. Actually, you know what? We could use the same ones. Let's see. Yeah, we could do both of these on the same one. We can just do this like, we can do it like this. Let's take this off. Let's take that off and that off. And let's switch this like that, and let's change this to both. Alright, so this is going, we're just going to keep this as the green. So the green's going to go in, and then the out, we need to change this to this. So input is green, and then extract, we'll set it to always active, round robin, and then actually we don't need to even have that on there. We'll just change this to red. So we're going to output red. It's going to output red and always active. Good. And so that's going to come through here. We're going to send all that stuff back to our chest. Now the way I have this all set up to save some channels, everything's getting imported into a chest, and then it gets imported back into this to the ME system. If I did it the other way around, we'd be wasting channels, and we don't want to do that. So let's do that, and then let's have a cable come off of. Is it not going to come off of here? There we go, like that, and connect these two there, and then let's clean up this mess here. And is that good? That looks good. Okay, and then the next thing we need to do is we need to have some power cables. So let's grab some power. And these are already powered over here through the ME system, so we don't need that there. And this is in my way already. So let's do this. And what we need to do though is come over here in the back. And I got my sound turned off. That's why you're not hearing any blocks being broke. And we're going to dig a little ditch, just like that. We're going to put a piece of cobblestone in the middle. You guys can probably guess what I'm going to do. Let's do that. And then let's put our transfer node on it, like so, like that. And then this is going to go into our chest, like this. And then from this chest, we're going to input it right into the back. And actually, we're going to input it on the top. Yeah. Because this is going to be output too. So let's export this. Always active. And let's export it in. Let's export this to red. Oh, we can't do that. Wait. These are all exported to the green. So we need to keep these green. I just remembered that. So we need to keep these all as green. Like that. We need to change this one to, this one needs to be the red one right there. So we need to flip-flop these. So this is going to be red, this is going to be green, this one's going to be red, and this one's going to be green. There we go. Because the chest is on green. If you look at all these, everything on here is export on green. So we need to do that. So this is going to pull the gravel out because we won't need it. This is going to pull the sand out. And that's exactly what we want. So now I got to find a way to get stuff into the top. Let's dig this out. I think my pickaxe is broke. I think there's not really a way. We'll just have to take the top one out. This is a mess. Okay. So we're going to go like this. And then we're going to go like this. Like that. The top's going to be blue. So we're going to say this is going to be an insert. We're going to go ahead and put this on the blue channel. And then we're going to tell this to be a blue channel. So this is going to be extract, always active, blue channel. So the blue channel is going to go up and go into the top. And that's going to work. Cool. So now what we need now is a bucket of lava and a bucket of water. And this thing right here. So let's go take this thing. Let's put it back here. Let's put it right here on the floor. And let's use our energy conduits. Whoops. There. And then that. Whoops. There. So let's click on this and make sure the power is going in. So let's say insert, insert, and insert. There we go. And then this is going to be set to Ren's Mopower. And we're going to set this to receive only. Good. So these should be powered up already. They are powering up slowly. This one's powered up. Good. So they're only transferring 5,000 RF a tick. That's fine. And then, like I said, we need to make, actually we need to make a world integration upgrade real quick. So let's see if we got the stuff to make those. And let's type in world. And we're going to make some of these. So let's make 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That should allow it to bring in 10 at a time. So there's 10 of those. And do we have a bucket? Where are my buckets? That's weird. Let's type in bucket. I got an empty bucket. Let's go ahead and make another bucket. So let's just get rid of these right here. Make us another bucket. All right. Now let's go upstairs and see how this is doing. Is it draining? Nope. Good. We can actually get, I don't know if I can bucket. I don't know if I can click on that pipe and get some lava out of it. Can I? No, I can't. That's weird. Okay. Let's just jump in here real quick. Let's grab some lava out of this. Okay. And then grab some water. There we go. So I think we have both. Yep, we do. Okay, let's go back downstairs. Let's set this up and we'll be done for today. Took forever though, didn't it? And like that. And once I put the world integration things in here, it's going to start pulling it up. This thing's going to start filling up. Oh, I can't open it because there's a rock on top. There we go. There we go. So it's filling up. This is turning on. Looks like it's working. Let's just make sure that this is doing its thing. What's going on here? Oh, crap. That's right. We have an X-Nilo on here. So you know what's happening? It's making gravel first. Crap. So the byproduct's going to be sand. Okay. We need to make another pulverizer. Let me do that real quick, guys. No, I don't want to bore you with this. We'll be right back. Alright, guys. So we got this set up. The gravel is now going to come into the top here. Oops, I didn't want to do that. The gravel is now going to come into the top here. So let's get that off of there. The top one is going to go from gravel to, from cobblestone to gravel. The red part is going to be the gravel, so it's going to go down. So this is going to pull the gravel into here, and then the gravel, when it gets pulverized, turns into sand. So the sand gets exported into the bottom and then gets round robined into these. Now the byproduct of pulverized gravel is sand. So the yellow is going to come out the side, and then all the sand is going to get put into these two things. Now the byproduct of pulverized gravel is dust, and so we're going to put the dust into our system over there, and then we'll probably just trash can it. So let's see how this works. Let's go up here and let's turn this into a blue signal, and it's an insert now, and there's blue. So this should start working pretty good. So let's see how this works. This is going to put it down here. The gravel is going to turn into sand. The sand's going into here. Turns it into glass. Now it's turning it into quite clear glass, which is fine. We can just do furnace only. You know, it should just turn it into regular glass. Let's check. Yeah, just regular glass. So, and then if you come over here, we should see, now you just saw it pop in there real quick. Let's see if we get another one. There, silicone. So there you go. So now if we go over here in our system, we will see silicone. Oh, we're not going to see it because remember we told the system that anytime it sees silicone to make a press. See, it just got pulled out. So if we walk over here, we're going to see this thing working nonstop. Boom. It's always going to be making silicone presses because we put a silicone in this export bus, and it tells the system anytime we have it to do that. Now the other thing we could look at is glass though. And our glass count right here is at 24, and this should probably start going up. There it is, 25. So everything's working. So now all I got to do is fix that wall so it doesn't look like a gigantic hole in the ground or a hole in the wall, and we should be good. So, whew, I don't know about you, but I'm tired. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this episode. If you did, click the like button. If you're new to my channel, hit the subscribe button. Be my friend. I'll be your friend. I'll subscribe back to you. And I hope to see you soon, guys. Take care.